Hey, Daniil Lanier here, and I gotta tell you, I am so excited to get into this product today. I've been waiting for a long time to get into this. I can barely talk because this thing is so exciting to me. This is the Ninja Foodi 6-in-1 dual zone system. Now, let me tell you what this thing can do. This thing can air broil, air fry, roast, reheat, bake, and dehydrate. I'm telling you, you can do so much with this. It's an 8-quart system, so over both baskets, so you have two 4-quart baskets. So if you want to do something with both baskets, your full capacity is 8 quarts. If you just want to use one and one, you can do 4 and 4. And that's the beauty of this because I can air fry in one system, in one basket. I can broil in the other one. Check this out. I can bake on one side and air fry on the other side or dehydrate on the other side. This dual zone system, you can do two things at once. So the cool thing about that is when you're cooking a meal, you don't have to do all of one thing and say, okay, now I gotta clean it out. Now I gotta cook the other things. So let's say you want to broil. You gotta like, oh, I gotta broil. Then I gotta clean it out. Now I gotta air fry. Now you can do both at the same time. This thing is fantastic. Mind blown. Can't wait to get into this, see how it works, show you guys some cool recipes, how to get the most out of this. The Ninja 6-in-1 2-basket dual zone air fryer does so much more than that, does it all, but we're going to dig into it. I'm so excited. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it going. All right, let's open this box up. Let's see what we got in here. Get you guys going. So, of course, got our directions, and I'd imagine there's some recipes in here too. It usually will come with some pre-start recipes. Oh, and there it is. There it is. Look at that. Look at that little beauty. Okay, all right. Yeah, let's get it all out here. I feel like it's Christmas or something. So excited. And I love to cook, so this for me is just going to be such a good time using this. And I feel like you can make a lot of healthier dishes in a system like this, and you're not all, got all this other stuff that you got to clean and cook and all that. You can do it right in one system. Whew, can't wait to get this thing going. So let's look at what we got in here. And it's not a lot to this. It's actually pretty simple. So you have one basket, two baskets, and then you have in each basket, these are crisper trays, so to crisp things up, and you have one in each basket there. So you have your two baskets. So I can use these baskets independently, or I can put the same thing in both and cook the same thing. So 4 quarts or 8 quarts together. And that's it. That's all you got. So we're going to go through, we're going to talk about all the settings, how to get this thing all set up. And that's it. I do want to show you guys one other thing. I want to grab a tape measure because I want you guys to know, if you're thinking about buying this, how big is it? How much space do you need? Is it something you could put under your counter, or is it something you're going to have to leave on your counter? So I know that's something like a lot of people know, because a lot of people are concerned about counter space, even under storage space. They want to get something like this, but they're just not sure size-wise how it's going to fit. So I do want to talk a little bit about that with you guys, and we're going to talk about like putting it in storage. I just think that's important. When you buy an appliance like this, you also got to store it. You got to put it somewhere. So I just want to give you guys some of the facts on that. So let me grab a tape measure, and we're going to go through and we're going to look at a couple little places that you can put this guy before we actually dig in and start the cooking. All right, so let's check the height. All right, and we're looking at right around 12.5 inches for the Foodi itself is right around 12 and a half. And I would say for a good clearance, you probably want to go 13. So for really good clearance, so you can really slide it underneath, I would say 13 is the height that you're looking for to put it underneath a cabinet or a shelf or something like that. So 13 is what you need. The actual Foodi is 12 and a half. All right, so let's see what we're looking at. So, and I wanted to do this. I know I could look up the dimensions probably and find it, but I really wanted to see, because I want to make sure I was adjusting for the handles and getting the actual back. So we're looking at probably about, you're going to need about, maybe about 13 and, about 13 and a half as far as the depth that you're going to need. All right, then across the top, so the actual top is about just shy of 15 inches, but it kind of goes out like that. So I would say, let me see if I can get this bottom. Yeah, just a little bit over 15 inches is what you're gonna get. Just slightly, the bottom, just slightly over 15 inches is what you're gonna get. So you're looking at 13 and a half by 15 is the space that you're gonna need to put this wherever you're gonna put it. All right, so here it is, the Ninja Foodi under the counter. I had just enough space to get it under here. And this is where mine is actually going to live. It's got a perfect home right between my juicer and my Instapot, so it worked out perfectly. Still got some space in front, so if I'm crazy enough to get some more small appliances, I still got a little bit of room that I could put them down here before I have to put things on top of the counters. But it's good down here. It's not you know, it's got a medium footprint, I would say, where it's not the smallest appliance by any means, but it's definitely not the biggest, so you definitely have to make sure you have room for it if it's something you want to get. And weight-wise, I haven't talked about weight yet, but this thing weighs, it's almost 18 pounds, like a little over 17 pounds. It actually doesn't feel like that. When I saw that, I was like, really? Because it definitely doesn't feel like it weighs that much, but that's what the specs say, that it weighs 17.8 pounds. Doesn't feel like 17.8 pounds at all. I guess you got a small dog, it just kind of feels like that. You got a little Boston or something like that. Probably feels like that. But underneath the counter, fits great. I have no issues with it at all underneath the counter. So if you're thinking about buying this product and the first thing you're thinking about is counter space, where you're going to put it, where you're going to store it, I think you definitely have some good options available to you if you got room underneath. As you can see, fits good there. And if you have to put it on top of the counter, it looks good on the counter. And space-wise, like I said, it's got a medium footprint, so not too bad. All right, so right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through the basic operation of the Ninja Foodi 6-in-1. We're not gonna cook right now. We're not gonna cook any food because I wanna get you ready to cook. I wanna prepare you to how to get everything set up to cook. I want you to know what does it mean for smart finish? What does it mean for match cook? How do you cook across one basket or two baskets? How does that whole thing work? How do you set your temperature? How do you set the time? How do you pause it if you need to pause it? We're gonna talk about all of those things, the different modes that you can go into. How do you go about that process? So we're going to talk about getting set up to cook, because that's going to be real important. If you want your food to come out right, you got to be able to set everything up for your food to come out right. So we're going to get into that part, talk about that, talk about the different settings, the different modes, and how to go about the process of actually using the Ninja Foodi 6-in-1. So let's go ahead, let's get into it, because I want you to be set up for success so you can make some delicious stuff. But we are going to do some recipes in another video. Let's go. Let's get into this. All right, so we're just going to go through a basic operation to get you cooking. So I'm going to show you all the settings and the setup to get you started cooking. And then we can talk about recipes in a different video, but just the process of operating your Ninja Foodi, that's what we're going to go through right now. So I'm going to talk about each button setup, and then we'll go into how to actually get in and get you set up for cooking. So you got your power button right here. And then on this side is going to be your start and pause. So you can like pause it if you want to check it or something like that. And that's going to start and pause. Then you got your temperature over here. your time over here. Then you have basket 1, basket 2. Your different settings of how you want to cook. And then these two right here are going to allow you to do different things with the baskets. And we'll talk about that as well. All right, so let's get into it. So I'm going to turn the unit on. When I turn the unit on, it's going to default automatically to basket 1. So it's automatically set up right now. Every setting that I set is going to go just to basket 1. So the first basket right here, okay? Now, if I want to just use basket 2, because I like to switch mine. I want to make sure that each one is working and I don't want to overuse one more than the other. So I switch it up all the time. So if I want to use 2, I'm just going to click on 2. And now you see the 2 is lit up. So now I'm using basket 2 as far as my operation. So now I need to pick what mode do I want to put the Ninja Foodi in. Do I want to air broil, air fry, roast, reheat, dehydrate, or bake? Let's say I want to air fry. Just going to click on air fry. So now it's in air frying mode. It automatically goes to the temp next, but I could go to time first and then go back to temp. It doesn't matter. So you're going to set your temperature that you want. So whatever temperature you want to air fry at. And we'll talk about more when you're cooking different foods. When we talk about the video with recipes and things like that, we'll talk about temperature and setting for different foods and things like that in a different video. Remember, this one is just to get you operating so you know what operating and how to set up is like on the Ninja Foodi. So once I got my temperature set, then I'm going to go to time. Set it for how long I want it. And then that's it. I will just hit start and we're off to the races. We're good to go. So real simple. You're going to turn the unit on, pick which basket you want, pick which mode you want, temperature, time, start. Piece of cake, right? All right, so let's talk about now. We understand that we have these different cooking modes right here, but let's talk about the dual zone technology that we have, which is smart finish and match cook. So the first one we're going to talk about is the smart finish. So let's talk about that. So one of the things that drives people crazy about any kind of appliance like this, even if you have one air fryer or one multi-use product like this, is if I'm cooking and I want to cook 2 different things, I got to cook one and then I got to wait for the other one. Or if you have one with multiple baskets, you can't get them to finish at the same time. So you cook one finishes, then you're waiting for the other one to cook. That's where the smart finish comes into play. So we're going to break down this smart finish and I'm going to show you how you can put 2 different things in here. So 2 different types of food in here and get them both to finish at the same time. So you can just finish and start eating. So we're going to talk about smart finish. Let's go. So we're going to turn on, and remember our default typically defaults to basket 1. So we're in basket 1, and now we have to pick our mode. So what mode we want to cook in. So we're going to use, so let's say in basket 1, we're going to do roast. So we're going to roast our meats, let's say, all right? So I want my temperature to be 375 is fine. And I'm going to click on smart finish right now. And when I do that, it activates basket 2. Now we're still working on basket 1 right now. So I'm going to put my time in. Let's say I want this to go 20 minutes. And now I'm going to click on basket 2. And now I'm operating in basket 2. So I have to pick my mode, what I want to do in basket 2. So let's say in basket 2, I want to air fry. So I'm going to click air fry there. I'm on my temp. So you can see now I'm on my temp. Already done with basket 1, so it's just showing me the time. So I'm on my temp. So let's say air fry, I want to do 400. And then for my time, I'm going to do 13 minutes. So I've got for basket 1, I'm on roast. And I set my temp and my time for 20 minutes. And then on basket 2, I'm doing air fry. And I set my time for 13 minutes. So now all I got to do is hit start. So I'm going to hit start. And you can see right now, it's cooking in basket 1. So basket 1 is working and it's cooking in basket 1. It's a hold on basket 2. So what's going to happen is it's going to hold off cooking on basket 2 until it's at a point where it can finish both of the meals together. So this, you don't have to do the guesswork. You don't have to wait and say, okay, let me time it out. When this gets to this point, I'm gonna start this basket. You can do all that. Let me just stop that so I can take the sound down a little bit. So this is a great way if you've got two different types of meals and you want them to finish at the same time and you just want to forget about it. You don't want to have to remember to go and add the second meal. It does it all on its own, and that's the smart finish. So I'm just going to go through it one more time. So I'm going to turn off. Just make sure you guys got it. Turn on. And you can hit smart finish. As long as you don't hit start before, you can hit it anytime. So I'm just going to start it off like that. I'm on 1, so I'm gonna roast. Pick your mode first. So I'm gonna roast, pick my temp. Say I want 400, pick my time. 6, then I'm good here. So I'm gonna go basket 2. And on this one, I'm gonna air fry. Pick my temp, then my time. Oops. All set, start. It's as simple as it is for a smart finish. So cooking 2 items that you want to finish at the same time, that's what you're gonna do for smart finish. All right, so let's talk about getting into the match cook. Being able to utilize the full capacity of both baskets, but not having to set the settings of both baskets individually. You're gonna use that match cook so you can match across both baskets. Let's get into it and see how it works. So what match cook is you want to use the full capacity of both baskets. So you want to have the same temperature and the same time across both baskets. So let's say you were air frying French fries and you want to fill up both baskets. Maybe you were doing wings and you want to fill up both baskets. You would use match cook for that. So just like the Smart Select, you're gonna power on. So now I'm on and it's doing my default one first basket. So I'm just gonna click match cook. And it automatically brings up 2 and it brings up the time because you're matching the same thing across both baskets. So I'm gonna air fry and you see the temperature goes for both. So as soon as I set the temperature, it's gonna set it for both. Then the time. So we got the time set and then you just hit start, that's it. And it runs them both at the same time. So you're utilizing both baskets, but you only got to set one thing and it just does it about across both when you're using match cook. All right, so that's smart finish and match cook. So remember, smart finish, all I'm doing is having both items finish at the same time when I have 2 different types of things going on in my baskets. So like I said, maybe I got wings in here and vegetables in here, so I can use smart finish so they both finish at the same time. Match cook, I'm maximizing the capacity of my cooking by using both baskets for the same temperature, same mode, same time, and just maximizing it with match cook. So that's both of those dual zone technologies that you can use to maximize how you cook. Now, you can, when it comes to smart finish, you can cook in and set up the settings differently in each basket without using smart finish. That's just if you want both of them to finish at the same time. If you don't care about them finishing at the same time, you can still utilize 2 baskets at the same time. I know for me personally, I've started cooking and then said, oh, you know what, now I want to cook this. And I went and started the second basket. So even though the first one's running, you can start the second one at any time that the first one's still running. So that's fine. It just won't finish at the same time. So that's the beauty of it, that you can always utilize both baskets. These just give you a little different technology when doing that. All right, so let's talk about pausing, because sometimes you want to pause. Now, if you just want to open a basket and check it and just make sure that everything looks good, you don't necessarily have to pause. But let's say you want to make sure that the timing, the cook time is still the same. You want to pause because maybe you want to mix the ingredients up a little bit within the basket, and then you want to start it again and you want to make sure that cook time is still the same. That's when you would choose pause. And you can pause no matter if you have 1 basket or 2 baskets. You can pause one, you can pause both, you can do that. So I'm gonna set it up for 1 and I'll show you that, then we'll set it up for 2. So let's just say I'm gonna do some baking. And 375. And we're gonna set our time for So that's going. So let's say it's going, and I want to check it for a certain amount of time. I want to just pause it. I don't want to just look in it. I want to actually pause it. All I'm going to do is just hit pause, and then it's going to pause it. You're going to see it blinking, and it's going to pause. All right. So let's say I got 2 baskets. Now, cool thing, like I told you guys, I don't have to start over if I want to just start cooking in the other basket. So, and I can let this go. So if I hit that, and I just want to start cooking in 2, I can just hit 2. Say I'm going to air broil in 250. Let's say my time's going to be 7 minutes. Start. So now 2's going. So I got 2 going, doing a little air broil on 2. But now let's say I want to pause 2. I just hit 2, pause, and now 2's pause, but 1 is still going. 1's still doing this thing. So I want to start it now. Start it. Now they're both started. So let's say I want to pause both. I hit pause, and now they're both paused. So when you have 2 things cooking and you want to use pause, you want to click the basket you want to use, then pause. When you have 2 items, if it's just 1, you just got to hit pause. It's fine. But when you have 2 things cooking, you want to hit the basket you want to pause, and then pause it, and then it'll pause that particular basket. So that's it. So you got a lot of cool things you can do within the settings, how you're cooking 1 basket, 2 baskets, pausing, stopping, smart finish, match cook. The Ninja Foodi, love this thing. It's really awesome. All right, so here it is, the Ninja Foodi 6-in-1. Went through the unboxing, took you through the basic operation. I hope you guys are really excited to use this. You know, we talked about the different cooking modes, 6-in-1, so it's not just an air fryer. You got so much more you can do. Setting up the temperature, setting up the time, using that dual zone technology so you can have different types of food in either basket that finish at the same time, or use both baskets to get the full capacity. I really love this appliance, and if you're thinking about doing an air fryer, this is going to give you so much more than just air frying, and the technology that it has in it is really going to change how you use an appliance like this. You're going to love it. This is Daniil Lanier. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video. I got more reviews, how-tos, DIY, and of course, cool motivation coming at you. I'm going to get cooking. I'm out. Deuces.